Imagine trusting your life savings to a financial genius, only to discover it was all a lie. This is the story of Bernie Madoff, the mastermind behind the largest Ponzi scheme in history. With billions of dollars stolen, countless lives ruined, and a betrayal so deep it shook Wall Street, Madoff Scandal remains one of the most devastating financial crimes ever committed. Today, we'll break down how he pulled it off, the warning signs everyone missed, and the lessons we must learn to protect our wealth. Bernie Madoff wasn't just a Wall Street figure, he was a legend, revered as one of the most trusted and innovative minds in finance. Born in Queens, New York in 1938, Madoff came from humble beginnings. He started his career with a modest $5,000, earned from working as a lifeguard and sprinkler installer, and founded Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities LLC in 1960. Over the next several decades, Madoff transformed his firm into a financial powerhouse, becoming a pioneer in electronic trading and even serving as the chairman of NASDAQ, where he played a key role in shaping modern market practices. Madoff cultivated an image of reliability and success, positioning himself as a financial expert who consistently outperformed the market. His firm became a trusted name on Wall Street, handling everything from market making to private wealth management. By the early 2000s, Madoff's reputation was impeccable. He was considered a financial genius who could deliver steady, impressive returns regardless of economic conditions. Behind the scenes, however, Madoff was running one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history. At its core, a Ponzi scheme is a fraudulent investment operation where returns are paid to earlier investors using the capital of newer investors, rather than legitimate profits. The brilliance of Madoff's scheme lay in its simplicity and execution. Unlike other schemes that often make bold, extravagant promises, Madoff's operation appeared stable, conservative, and remarkably consistent. Madoff offered clients annual returns of 10 to 12%, not so high as to seem suspicious but consistent enough to attract attention, especially during turbulent market conditions. This steadiness gave investors confidence, as Madoff's returns seemed to defy market volatility. For decades it appeared that Madoff had cracked the code to long-term investment success, solidifying his image as a financial wizard. Madoff didn't just attract ordinary investors, he became the go-to manager for the financial elite. Wealthy individuals, influential charities, major banks, and even hedge funds clamored to invest with him. He developed a mystique by creating an air of exclusivity around his firm. Potential clients often had to know someone within his network to gain access to his services, and many were turned away, adding to the perception that investing with Madoff was a rare privilege. Among his clients were celebrities like Kevin Bacon, Kira Sedgwick, and Steven Spielberg, along with prominent institutions such as Fairfield Greenwich Group and Banco Santander. Non-profit organizations including the Eli Wiesel Foundation for Humanity also entrusted their endowments to Madoff, believing their funds were safe with one of Wall Street's most respected figures. Madoff's exclusivity strategy worked brilliantly. Clients felt privileged to be part of what was perceived as an elite insider group. This sense of exclusivity discouraged them from asking too many questions about how Madoff achieved such remarkable returns. After all, they reasoned, if so many reputable and intelligent people trusted him, why shouldn't they? This unshakable trust was the foundation upon which Madoff built his house of cards. Despite Madoff's impressive facade, there were red flags that should have raised suspicion. His claimed returns were unusually consistent even during market downturns, a feat no legitimate investment strategy could achieve. Additionally, Madoff's scheme was riddled with red flags that were overlooked by many. He refused to share details about his trading strategies, dismissing inquiries by citing proprietary methods, which allowed him to operate without transparency. Unlike legitimate funds, his operations lacked independent audits or third-party oversight, creating an environment ripe for deception. Perhaps most suspiciously, he claimed to deliver consistent annual returns of 10 to 12%, regardless of market conditions, an almost impossible feat that should have raised serious doubts. Some financial analysts raised concerns, but they were dismissed as jealous rivals or simply ignored. Investors were too dazzled by Madoff's reputation to dig deeper. The global financial crisis of 2008 was the beginning of the end for Madoff. As investors panicked and began withdrawing funds, Madoff couldn't keep up with the redemptions. On December 10, 2008, he confessed to his sons that his entire business was a fraud, a giant Ponzi scheme. The next day, his sons reported him to federal authorities and Madoff was arrested. The impact of Madoff's scheme was devastating, leaving thousands of individuals, charities, and institutions in financial ruin. Many investors, including celebrities like Kevin Bacon, Kyra Sedgwick, and Steven Spielberg, lost their life savings, while numerous philanthropic organizations were forced to shut down, unable to recover from the losses. Beyond the immediate victims, the scandal shook the financial system to its core, eroding trust in Wall Street and exposing glaring gaps in regulatory oversight. In 2009, Madoff pleaded guilty to 11 federal felonies, including securities fraud, wire fraud, and money laundering. He was sentenced to 150 years in prison, the maximum penalty allowed. Madoff's crimes didn't just ruin his clients, they destroyed his own family. His wife, Ruth, was left ostracized, living under constant media scrutiny. His eldest son, Mark, died by suicide in 2010, 2 years after his father's arrest. His younger son, Andrew, died of cancer in 2014, blaming the stress of the scandal for accelerating his illness. Even in prison, Madoff reportedly showed little remorse, stating in interviews that his victims were greedy and partly to blame for their losses. He died in 2021 at the age of 82, leaving behind a legacy of betrayal and financial devastation. Bernie Madoff's scheme wasn't just a crime, it was a cautionary tale. Here are the critical lessons to protect yourself and your finances. 1. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Madoff's consistent returns were unrealistic, yet many ignored the obvious signs. Always question investment opportunities that promise guaranteed or unusually high returns. 2. Demand transparency. Madoff's operations were opaque and investors didn't push for answers. Always ask for clear documentation, third-party audits, and verifiable data when investing. 3. Diversify your investments. Many of Madoff's victims put all their money into his fund. Diversification is crucial to minimizing risk and protecting your portfolio from total loss. 4. Trust, but verify. Even reputable figures can engage in fraud. Verify claims independently and avoid placing blind trust in any individual or institution. Bernie Madoff's story is one of ambition turned into greed, and trust betrayed on an unprecedented scale. His scheme didn't just ruin lives, it left a scar on the financial world that's still felt today. But with the right knowledge and vigilance, we can protect ourselves from falling victim to similar scams. At Simple Personal Finance, we're committed to helping you make smarter, safer financial decisions. If you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's learn from the past to secure a better financial future. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to not miss the latest videos.